With WADM, decision-making is easy as it isolates and prioritizes factors relevant to your decisions and then quantifies each decision with a value. The higher value reflects the better decision. For example, if you had a choice between moving to Detroit or Phoenix, WADM would yield a simple numerical valuation like Detroit 88 and Phoenix 93. Based on the number, Phoenix is the better choice. While WADM is subjective and requires your unfettered objectivity, it is a great tool for identifying which choice is more favorable to your preferences. To use WADM, a minimum of 2 choices is needed, but it could be used for more. Let's say you do indeed live in Detroit and are considering moving to Phoenix. You struggle with the decision and can't get clarity. One day you want to move, the next you want to stay. Usually, this waffling occurs when there are too many decision factors within each choice. Get a pencil and paper. Make 3 columns on your paper, one headed to factors, and the other 2 for each choice, Detroit and Phoenix. Second, what decision factors are important in your decision? Weather? Schools? Cost of living? Being near family? Write down all factors relevant to the decision, no matter how small. Write these factors in the factor it column. Your WADM would now look like this. In this hypothetical example, you should stay in Detroit because it received the highest score, 232 over 228. The WADM is a great tool for making big decisions as long as you are perfectly honest with the factor weighting. I've used WADM many times in my life to bring clarity to tough decisions. It proved I needed to move to Phoenix, it offered insight into why it was time to sell my business, and it even steered me clear of some bad business investments. In 2005, I had an opportunity to invest in a Las Vegas restaurant. After I conducted my diligence on the opportunity and the founders, it was time to make a decision. I couldn't decide. I solved my decision paralysis with a WADM analysis that indicated I should turn the investment down. I did. A little over a year later, I discovered this investment turned south and that the investors lost most of their money. The WADM gave clarity to decision ambiguity and saved me from losing $125,000. If you examine a map of the country, you'll find millions of roadways, freeways, streets, avenues, boulevards, all leading somewhere different. Your choices unearth those roads, and they are either impressive shortcuts or perilous detours. These 2 decision tools are navigational tools for your wealth journey. Get your eyes off the rearview mirror. Today is the starting line for the rest of your life. Yes, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. The problem with the past is that we remember memories we shouldn't, and we don't forget what we should. If your eyes are stuck in the rearview mirror, you're stuck in the past. If you're stuck in the past, you're not looking ahead. If you're not looking ahead, you can't hit the mark of your future. The universe doesn't care about your past. It is blind to it. The universe doesn't care that I wore pink pants in high school. Hey, remember Miami Vice? The universe doesn't care that I got in a fight with Francis Franken and lost. The universe doesn't care about your MBA from UCLA, your drug-dealing father, or that you wet your bed in junior high. The universe simply doesn't care. One person and one person only weaponizes past transgressions, you. If the universe doesn't remember, why should you? Being the youngest of 3 siblings, you can bet I was the subject of some vile comments. Fat, stupid, you name it. However, just because my brother called me an idiot for 12 years doesn't make it my reality. Your past never equals your future unless you allow it. Think about a coin flip. No matter how many times it's flipped, the next flip is always random. Probability cannot be attached to a future flip based on the past. Your past is the same. Just because you failed at 5 relationships doesn't mean your next will fail, especially if you learn from them. Just because you flipped burgers 3 hours ago doesn't mean you can't be a millionaire next year. The universe forgets, just like the universe forgot I mopped floors and delivered pizza not long ago. Is your memory treasonous? Your memories have the same makeup as your choices. They're treasonous, muted, or accelerative. Unlike choices' consequences, you have a choice how your past is classified. The records of the past can be sealed. For example, if you lost your life savings in a restaurant franchise that went bankrupt soon after you invested, your memory could be either accelerative or treasonous. Your memory and its perception could be, business ownership is a big risk. I'll never do that again, or next time, I'm going to be selling franchises, not buying them. The former is treasonous, while the latter is accelerative. You have a choice in framing failure and framing the past. It serves or hinders. When I reflect on my own failures, I let them serve me to effect future change. It's a part of the responsibility/accountability process. What did I learn? What can I change in the future? What should I forget? After I crashed my Viper and nearly killed myself, I remember the haze of almost losing everything. I didn't want to repeat those feelings, and their memories served my future to effect change. Street racing is for morons. Alternatively, I could allow ego to reign, keep street racing, and boast, I'll never lose another race again. While the consequences of our choices can't be manipulated, you can manipulate your memories to serve you. My life is not defined by being picked last in high school gym class. If your past defines your existence, it will be impossible for you to become the person you need to become in the future. Chapter Summary: FastLane Distinctions. Your choices of action manifest from your choices of perception. What you choose to perceive or not perceive will manifest itself to a choice of action or inaction. You can change your choice of perception by aligning yourself with those who experience the perception as reality. Worst-case consequence analysis helps avoid treasonous choices. The weighted average decision matrix can help you make better big decisions by clarifying alternatives and their internal factors. The universe has no memory, only you do. Your past can be accelerative or treasonous. You choose the classification. If your eyes are transfixed to the past, you can't become the person you need to become in the future. 25. Deodorize Flatulent Headwinds. Ridicule is the tribute paid to the genius by the mediocrities. Tilde Oscarvilde. The FastLane's natural headwind. The greatest invention of mankind was the airplane because it defied the natural force of gravity and seemingly violated the laws of physics. How could something so heavy float in the air? What made Orville and Wilbur Wright's achievement so spectacular wasn't just the act of flying, but the act of breaking free from society's gravitational pull. Flying is impossible. You guys are nuts. You are wasting your time. Foolish. Before they could even pursue flying, the Wright brothers had to break free of society's natural headwind, the natural social conditioning that impregnates all young minds. A FastLane forum member posted this. Go into a kindergarten class and ask the kids how many of them can sing. Every hand will go up. Fast forward 13 years and ask the same class of seniors the same question. Only a few hands will go up. What changed? The kindergarten kids believed they could sing because no one had told them otherwise. Perfectly stated. We must not hear the naysayers, because they have been conditioned by society. Society will grind a constant headwind at the grill of your vehicle. You can't worry about deviating from social norms, because the norm is to be 2 paychecks from broke. If you want to push beyond average results produced by average people, you'll need to adopt an uncommon approach that doesn't fall in the favor of everyone. The more uncanny and exceptional you strive to be, the more you need to fight through social indoctrination. Extraordinary wealth will require you to have extraordinary beliefs. Turn your back to farting headwinds. If you turn your back to a headwind, it becomes an accelerant. I had to do this, otherwise I would have failed. After graduating from college, I was expected to find a good job. I didn't and instead dove into entrepreneurial ventures. My family thought I was crazy and proclaimed, "You're wasting a 5-year education." Peers thought I was delusional. Oh dear, delivering pizza and chauffeuring limousines while 2 business degrees hung from the wall? Women wouldn't date me because I broke the professional, a college-educated mold the fairy tale espoused. Going FastLane and building momentum will require you to turn your back at the people who fart headwinds in your direction. You have to break free of society's gravitational force and their expectations. If you aren't mindful to this natural gravity, life can denigrate into a viscous self-perpetuating cycle, which is society's prescription for normal. Get up, go to work, come home, eat, watch a few episodes of Law and Order, go to bed, then repeat, day after day after day. Before you know it, 45 years have passed and you need another 25 just to make your financial plan work. Time passes, dreams die, and what remains? An old withered body forlorn for what could have been. Who farts headwinds? They are 1. Friends and family who just don't get it. 2. Educational institutions that preach slow-lane dogma. 3. Parents who are conditioned to believe wealth is for other people. 4. Slow-lane gurus who claim your house is the best investment. 5. Slow-lane gurus who say $100 invested today will be worth $10 million in 50 years. 6. Your environment. Escaping human headwind bloviators. People who don't empower your goals are human headwind bloviators. They add friction to the journey. When you spout excitement over actions or ideas, bloviators react with doubt and disbelief and use conditioned talking points such as, go that won't work, someone is already doing it, and why bother? In motivational circles, they call them dream stealers. You must turn your back on them. Every entrepreneur has bloviators in their life. Network marketers consider me a bloviator. These people are normal obstacles to the FastLane road trip. Remember, these people have been socially conditioned to believe in the preordained path. They don't know about the FastLane, nor do they believe it. Anything outside of that box is foreign, and when you talk FastLane, you may as well be speaking Klingon. As a producer, you are the minority, while consumers are the rest. To be unlike everyone who isn't rich, you who will be rich require a strong defense, otherwise, their toxicity infects your mindset. Commiserating with habitual, negative, limited thinkers is treasonous. Uncontrolled, these headwinds lead directly to the couch and the video game console. Yes, the old, if you hang out with dogs, you get fleas. This dichotomy makes you a blossoming flower that needs protection, water, and plenty of sun. Negative friends, family, or co-workers are dark clouds. Defend yourself or suffer the consequence of slow assimilation to mediocrity. Escaping environmental headwinds. While you might redirect human-originated headwinds, environmental factors aren't so easily controlled. What are environmental headwinds? For me, it was Chicago. I was seasonally depressed and needed sun for motivation. Chicago was my hurricane-force headwind, and if I wanted success, I needed to turn my back. I escaped and moved to one of the sunniest places on the planet. Had I not turned my back to my environmental headwind, this book would not exist. Where would I be today if I hadn't turned my back to the tornado? I know I wouldn't be here, happy, and retired 30 years early. Nope, I'd be on the Kennedy Expressway fighting traffic and strung out on anti-depressants. I'll pass. I made a choice to turn my environmental headwind into a tailwind. While I can't blame all my problems on my environment, they enforce this disconnect between interest in wealth and a commitment.